Take that meeting of city council to order, please rise for a moment of silence, followed by the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Councilmember Alexander. Here. Councilmember Brand. Here. Councilmember Breaker.
Here.
Councilmember Conklin.
Here.
Councilmember Missouri. Here. Councilmember Stevenson. Here. Mayor Long.
Approval of the minutes for the April 21st regular meeting.
Second.
Motion for a second. Any questions or comments?
Councilmember Alexander.
Yes.
Councilmember Brand. Yes. Councilmember Breaker. Councilmember Conklin.
Yeah.
Councilmember Missouri.
Yes.
Councilmember Stevenson.
Yeah.
Mayor Long.
Comments from residents and city taxpayers. State your name, where you live.
Niles Manzoris, 1354 Renova Road. At the last council meeting, there were some statements made that I was in question of. I did a little bit of research, get a little bit more background, and I would just like to bring you up to date with that. First of all, there was a statement made by Mr. Wilson. The FAA initiated and mandated the fence to be put up by the city, and the city had no choice. At the end of the meeting, several council members, when we ended that conversation, were saying there was nothing they could do because it was mandated by the FAA. I had quite a long discussion with Mr. Mark Matlock. He's with the Pennsylvania Bureau of Aviation, and he is the gentleman that dealt with the fencing issue and the grant money. He told me that Mr. Wilson initiated the request for the fence because for the last 20 years, he's been trying to get it through the fence agreement with the hangar owners. That seemed like a little bit of exaggeration because I only owned the hangars for 8 or 10 years. And the first I ever found out that there was such an agreement was when this airport thing started a year or two ago. The FAA, he said the FAA did not mandate additional fencing. The only thing that the FAA is mandating is a through a fence agreement with the hangar owners, which choose to come and have access to the airport. So that's the only mandate that the FAA has made. Number two, Mr. Wilson made the statement several times stating it won't cost the city a penny. Check the minutes with that. That was his exact statement. Through the fence, the fencing grant is a 90% grant, and the city is responsible for 10%, plus pay any other incidental costs that occur during the project. So that statement wasn't exactly correct either. I told Mr. Matlock, I also told the city solicitor that I was willing to sign a reasonable contract as soon as one was made available to myself. To this point, I still have not received a residential through the fence contract to review or sign.
I just like the further grant, it is a 9-10 split, but we do have funds that we could use to cover that, which would make the city share zero. Correct, incorrect.
City planner. Thank you. Anybody have?
I just want to say one thing. We did meet with Glenn Thompson's representative here at City Hall and had a long conversation. And the greatest thing on earth for us would be that we didn't have to worry about the fence at all. Because we have, for the last 2 years, been working exactly like you have directed us to work with the county and working towards a joint municipal authority. We have all of those agreements done. All of that stuff is in progress. And we are doing exactly what has been asked of us. So if this hurdle is taken off of our plate, that's fantastic. So thank you for the information.
Any other city taxpayers or residents? Your name and where you live?
Craig Care, I actually live in Cocoa, Florida, but I own the property. And I spent a few months here in the summer. So I was here a year ago, almost to the day, I think. I've been here about 5 days in the city. Now they're saying about constructing this fence within a fence. And the existing fence is FAA compliant. Mr. Williamson actually has all the back paperwork when they pursued where to put that fence and where they want to put this fence in a fence. It was one of the options. It wasn't done because it wasn't cost effective. By using the hangar owner's property, it was less money for the city. They have all that. I mean, a fence within a fence, $100,000. I don't know. I'm not city government. You guys are the expert on that, but that would take about, I don't know, 10 years to break even. Where if we just signed the lease that we were willing to sign 2 years ago, the city would be up today over $12,000. After that same 9 years, when the city would break even, they'd be up $64,000. That just seems crazy. Grant money is not free. Somebody's paying for it. Might not be the city of Lock Haven, but it's not free. So I say sign this lease immediately. Here's a couple of fence pictures. You guys can have these. Ones before any, well, not any fences, but some of the existing fences. You can see the parking available there. Now here's where they're all constrained in. And that fence is very restrictive to airport operations, especially in Santa Monica.
The original page. Questions? Thank you. Appreciate it. Any other city residents and taxpayers with lights? Okay. Mr. Lowry. Move on from there. 4B, consideration of the request from the Sentimental Journey for the use of the property to the south of the airport bordering East Bald Eagle Street.
The city has an easement with Tangent Energy for the parcel of land that the Sentimental Journey has requested to use on June 19th and 20th of this year. I did reach out after this request was received to Tangent, and Tangent responded that it and its construction contractor have conceded the use of the area for the use of this year's event only on June 19th and 20th, and that PP&L will schedule its work with Tangent's contractor according to PP&L. We did not hear back from UGI about its construction that is scheduled for this year on that parcel of land. So if approved by council with Tangent's consent, then there would just need to be a caveat that if UGI is doing construction, that be provided for public safety wise for the temporary.
Motion for a second. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Councilmember Alexander.
Yes.
Councilmember Brand. Yes. Councilmember Brinkman.
Yes.
Councilmember Engstler.
Yes.
Councilmember Missouri.
Yes.
Councilmember Stevenson.
Yes.
Mayor Long.
Yes. Any other requests?
Done.
All right. Five, unfinished business, 5A, consideration of ordinance number 2025-05.
This is an ordinance on second reading, that would rename a portion of an unnamed alley to Tiger Den. Shown on the maps provided to council and is included in the ordinance itself.
Do I have a motion?
I'll second.
And a second. Any questions or comments about the motion?
Councilmember Alexander.
Yes.
Councilmember Brandon.
Yes.
Councilmember Brinker.
Yeah.
Councilmember Conklin.
Yes.
Councilmember Missouri.
Yes.
Councilmember Stevenson.
Yes.
Mayor Long.
Yes. 5B, consideration of the award of bid for the 2026 LHV access road.
We received bids in February for the rehabilitation of the access road at the airport. This is the road in the parking lot, just adjoining the airport, not City Street, that's down there. Previous were received for the project with the lowest bid from Dave Utilities for excavating in the amount of $77,684.37. There was a base bid and an alternate, and we will be accepting both of those. McFarland Johnson, our airport engineers, recommending award of bid contingent upon BOA and FAA grant approval. The grant system kind of switched up in the past year. We get a go ahead and an amount, and then we bid, and then we tell them the actual grant amount or the actual construction amount that we want in the grant. So making it contingent upon that award, so we don't get caught. It's under consideration of the funding, so we have submitted that grant with the construction costs. And there is a split of federal and state share with the bill money, so there is no city share.
Motion to accept.
So move.
I'll second.
Motion for and a second. Questions or comments? All for the vote.
Councilmember Alexander.
Yes.
Councilmember Brandon.
Yes.
Councilmember Brinker.
Yes.
Councilmember Conklin.
Yes.
Councilmember Missouri.
Yes.
Councilmember Stevenson.
Yes.
Mayor Long.
Yes. 5C, consideration of the water interconnection agreement for the transmission of raw water from the city's Youngdale well field.
The agreement was provided by the city engineer based on the DEP draft to the Central Clinton County Water Filtration Authority and the city on April 23rd. That was the day after representatives of the city's Public Works Department met with Filtration Authority personnel and the city engineer to talk about the connection that will be required. So the Filtration Authority was provided the draft according to Gwen Dobson and Foreman by that Friday. The Secretary of the Water Filtration Authority got back to him with some concerns about the agreement. And according to Gwen Dobson and Foreman, it's their understanding the authority's solicitor, which is Frank Maselli, currently has the agreement and is expected to make suggestions. Because council has not seen a copy of the agreement, you won't be able to act on it until it's reviewed by the solicitor. So this will appear on the next council meeting, and hopefully it will be ready by then.
Is just an FYI at this time.
Yes.
Okay. 5D, consideration of the award for the HVAC bid, Hogan Phase 1.
So with Hoberman, we had to split out with the Separations Act, the HVAC, plumbing and electrical for the restrooms project, or the restrooms portion of the project. The HVAC contractor, who was originally the lowest bid, was deemed uncompliant by CEDACOG with CDBG standards. They just didn't do a proper outreach for minority and women businesses. So we're moving to the next lowest bidder, which is Joseph C. Hazel, in the amount of $14,407. Then your blue sheet said it should be approved contingent on DC9 and CEDACOG approval. but since writing that, we do have their approval, so this one's good to go. Um, this is a jump from the original bid was like $2,000, which we thought was low. Checked with them and made sure that they understood the project. It just ended up in doing this CDBG review that they didn't do that outreach. So we do have to move to Joseph C. Hazel, and I just ask you to award the contract to that firm in the amount of $14,407.
Motion.
Second.
Motion for a second. Questions or comments on the motion? Yes, sir.
How will this affect rest of the project over there with 10,000? Do we have to be borrowing from something else to pay for this, or?
We're being very cognizant in using our local who are damaged, so city's Department of Public Works is demolishing some aspects. We can count that as match toward the DCR portion for that switching up funds. I'm not sure, I mean, we probably will have to pull from just general funds, but I'm not sure the amount off the top of my head. I can just do some math with that. This won't delay the project though. The general contractor is getting started this week. We did have a post on Facebook and I did out the press as well, just to be cautious of the work going on. Right now, we're not going to close the skate park or the playground, but if it becomes an issue, if you will, one of the parking lots will remain open. The ball fields will remain usable for the rest of the season. We're in contact with the league. The restroom won't start until leagues are over, so there's no delay on that. And
We have been good, well, since the beginning, council had set aside 38. Sure, the most we had ever needed was 12,000 and haven't needed that yet. We have been really good at being the planner, work with the public works department in order to make sure that we're doing as much of the demolition or grading, things like that, that we can in-house, because we do get credit for that as if it were our goal. And that has helped freed up enough money that we haven't had to really pay anything yet. And so we hope to continue that with this section too.
Abby, it's the restrooms that are there at the restrooms, the concession stand, that complex is what we're talking about.
the restrooms are separate from the concession stand and the press box. They're the little building beside it. Those will be demolished in total. The restroom will actually move closer to Prospect Street.
For the question. Already motion is second and.
Councilmember Alexander.
Yes.
Councilmember Brandon.
Yes.
Councilmember Brinker.
Yes.
Councilmember Conklin.
Yes.
Councilmember Missouri.
Yes.
Councilmember Stevenson. Mayor Long.
Yeah. We have any other unfinished?
We have none, Your Honor.
New business 6A, consideration of resolution number 2025-16.
This is a request from Sunbed Mountains EMS Council to have council declare May 18th to 24th, 2025 EMS week with the theme We Care for Everyone.
Move the resolution 2025. Motion before.
I'll second.
With many facts. Pardon me? With many facts. Yes. We're very blessed and it's a very big service. Size community we have. Yeah, so I have a motion before a second, any comment, question? Call for the vote.
Councilmember Alexander.
Yes.
Councilmember Brandon.
Yes.
Councilmember Brinker.
Yes.
Councilmember Conklin.
Yes.
Councilmember Missouri.
Yes.
Councilmember Stevenson.
Yes.
Mayor Long.
Yes. 6B, consideration of resolution number 2025-17.
This is a resolution required for CEDACOG's administration of the city's CDBG program. It formally gives CEDACOG the ability to maintain the city documents, be responsible for the program, and prepare, sign, and submit the CDBG application This is again, just formality, you all heard from them a couple weeks ago about their administrative, they're taking over. I'm along the way for everything, but just formalizing their action for this resolution.
Motion.
I move approval.
Motion floor, second, any questions? Call for the vote.
Councilmember Alexander.
Yes.
Councilmember Brandon. Yes. Councilmember Brinker.
Yes.
Councilmember Conklin.
Yeah.
Councilmember Missouri.
Yes.
Councilmember Stevenson. Mayor Long.
No. 6C, notice of the workers' compensation premium refund.
Each year, the Workers' Compensation Trust, Penn Prime, audits the city's payroll to ensure that we make the appropriate payments to cover our workers' comp premium, which is estimated the year prior. Our actual experience came in with a refund due to the city of $28,925, which goes back into the general fund, and that will help subsidize this year's workers' comp payments.
Good news.
Oh,
Any other new business?
I've known Your Honor.
The different reports there since the file. The Susquehanna River Basin Commission.
I'll speak about that just real briefly. I did write a letter of request to the Susquehanna River Basin Commission, whose permit you need for the city's water well. Typically, prior to DEP issuing a permit, you have to have the DEP permit in order to apply for PennDOT funding, which is also. So, we received word that SRBC wouldn't likely be giving approval until September, which means we would miss the July application date. After discussion, after sending the letter, had really positive feedback from SRBC, from DEP, from the state DEP. Everyone's working really well together on behalf of the city. The state and SRBC is interstate compact with multiple states, so they're working to make sure this project moves ahead. And so there's a lot of communication between SRBC and DEP so that we still will be able to make our appropriate application. Really nice of them to step in and help us out. The city as one of the original partners in the Chesapeake Bay Working Woodlands program. It's one of the original supporters of the Susquehanna River Basin Commission's goals and objectives. So it's really nice to see that in return as well.
There's a notice of meeting, EV charging station line 8. That
Is going to be held at the Clinton County Community Center, Plymouth Street, May 13th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And more information about that can be found through CEDACOG, but also should be on the STEP website. Their events.
I know that when I travel, looking, where am I gonna be? This place has a close by, so. Hard to eat. You know. Anyone have anything else for you?
We should, yeah, just mention that, the Water Conservation Authority is meeting right now to update, approve, application, I guess, for invest funding for, repair of a tank. That tank. Hopefully it's done by now. But, they have four, that should be underway. that tank was really important, not the tank itself, but the line that runs through that tank, because if that line failed, there would be, within hours, there would be no water in it. So it was really essential that that get done, so they're gonna be underway hopefully soon. I think they were estimating that the best case scenario would be sometime after the first. Yeah, there's other things too. There's a catwalk that's being put in because what is there does not, is just an open walkway, the railings. And there's a third, something to do with the tank seal, I think, the seal. So it's a big deal, but I have to get it started.
They inadvertently scheduled for the same, they need to get the approval done like right now.
Yeah,
And Lenny did not realize he was scheduling at the same time as the council. And I think that it's important for people to know that we are still using an awful lot of water.
we are.
To be really conscientious. If you see here, think you have some kind of leak, have evidence of leak, please notify the city water department as soon as possible.
And we did fix 6 in one day.
Anything else?
The library has begun interviews for the executive director and yeah, that's totally fine. I just want to remind everyone, the next 2 Saturdays are the following 2 candidates. So at 1:30 at the library, you can go, city council, city staff, and I believe is the public invited? Public is invited to meet, the remaining 2 candidates, 1:30, the next 2 Saturdays, 10th and the 17th. Available if anyone would like to meet the candidates.
Sure.
Yeah.
Anything else? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I motion.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Does any member of council